Morning, beautiful people. Hoping this message finds you well and safe. So, I'll give you the ending first. In my experience, microaggressions are far more dangerous than overt exercises of aggression, if you will. So, I'm not going to insult you with the question, what weighs more, a ton of bricks or a ton of feathers? A ton is a ton, right? But if I were to ask you which one hurts more, I would hope you think to ask me the question, how are they going to be delivered? So a ton of bricks does weigh as much as a ton of feathers, but if I were to ask you which one hurt more, depends on how they're delivered. So follow me on this for a minute. If you drop a brick on me, one brick at a time, at some point, relatively soon, it's going to hurt. But how many feathers do I need to drop on you until the feathers start to hurt? Well, because you just said a ton is a ton, and I would imagine dropping a ton on you would have the same effect regardless of what it is. But how many at a time? Well, let's step out of it for a second. My understanding of what a tsunami is an overwhelming amount of water drops that have gathered together to move in the same direction, which as a result of that collaboration creates a force that human beings have not yet figured out how to stop. An avalanche would be the same thing. It would be a snowflake that has gathered together with a collection of other snowflakes who have agreed to move in the same direction, which results in a force that we as human beings have not yet figured out how to stop or address. Well, let's go to microaggressions for a second. I can actually handle a room full of people who one at a time are just going to be ignorant. Like it's that one person that says that one thing. But what I have yet to understand or figure out how to address is like the feather comments, right? So one person says something, and then another person says something, and then another person says something, and all of a sudden you realize there's an entire room full of people who individually I could do something about. But as a collective, I can't stop, right? So then you leave the room, but I don't want to leave the room. So of course, then it takes me back to something my mama said. Mama would say to me, and I could never understand it. Yes, I'm out here dodging cars like Frogger, for those old enough. I remember Mama said to me she'd rather live in the South than live in the North. And as I was growing up, I could never understand why a black woman would say, who was born in 1928, would say she'd rather live in the South. And then as I got older, she explained it. She said, because boy, I'm afraid of snakes. And in the South, like, I could see a snake a mile away. But up here, everybody's smiling in your face, but I don't know if I could trust it. It's like me running through a field of tall grass. I know they out there, but I don't know which is which. Why am I offering this to you? If you have not yet figured out how to address a microaggression, that microaggression will bond with another microaggression, which will bond with another microaggression, and all of a sudden you have an entire team, an entire culture, an entire organizational, that is, an entire community of people who have gathered together who by themselves feel like feathers, but as a collective can do just about as much damage as a ton of bricks. That is what is on my mind today. The person who cracks that joke, the person who makes that side eye during something that's important, that one comment in the performance evals, I do take seriously. And I know we as HR people like to say, you know, I'm not going to change the entire thing for that one person, except not addressing that one person leaves it with the possibility of bonding with another who feels the same way. So, fam, give yourself permission to address the microaggression. Give yourself permission to address the snowflake, the water drop, the feather. An individual feather does not hurt. A ton of them, though, will have the same effect on you as a ton of bricks. So I hope this doesn't find you ignoring the feathers. As always, I hope this message finds you well and safe and healthy and patient and diligent. I hope it finds you with the courage to address the feathers, to see the smiles in the room for what they are. Smiling at the wrong time is a sign. And of course, I hope this finds you thinking. Stay safe, everybody, and I'll see you next time.